Yeah, good evening all students and a warm welcome for this evening session. And congratulations to students, we have done very well for the JE first session and second session you can say. That means shift 1, shift 2 on today's JE main. Yeah, just I would like to give a small review based on this my experience and whatever the experience I have shared with my students, okay, during this my academic teaching and their experience today after writing the exam, okay. So as for just I'm would like to talk a few words regarding the session 1. So if you see the questions based on session 1 mostly are students completely formula based and moderate questions were given. Like you can see of the questions like in case of electrostatic, if you see finding the potential basic. What is potential? Simply amount of work done in moving the charges from infinite distance to a point in the field, right? So a charge is given, electrostatic charge is given, and 2 points A and B are mentioned. When you are moving from point A to point B, okay, what is the work done? So simply you can talk about work done is change in potential energy. That's the question, okay, based on, so you have to focus on that concept of potential energy. And then in Young's double slit experiment, like when you have two slits S1 and S2, right? So a glass plate or a transparent sheet is placed between one of the slits. Then as you know, all of you very well, what happens? Fringes will be shifting, right? And the standard formula for shifting fringes, you know what formula? Shift mu minus 1 into t into capital D by small d, where meanings have their usual meaning. Capital D is distance between screen and the what? Slits. And small d is the separation between the slits. Directly formula based question is asked. And then after that, so one question is based on magnification of a telescope is asked. So a normal adjustment, okay, that formula based effective magnification is product of the what? Magnification of the objective and eyepiece. Direct formula based question, students. And then one more question standard in our 9th and 10th class also we have studied. Did you remember? The thing is that like two lenses are there, fine, a parallel beam is coming, it gets focused at first focus. Again if you adjust the second lens, again the beam becomes parallel, what we call collimated. The distance between them becomes what? Focal length of the first lens plus focal length of the second lens. Parallel beam will focus at first focus. Again the emerging rays when it pass through second lens, again coming parallel, means the first focus should be, the first focusing point should be at the focus of what? Second lens. Therefore distance between them will be focus, sum of their focal length, based on that question is asked. So most what you can call basic question, students. And then next question is like based on the calculation of internal energy. You know first law of thermodynamics, dq is equal du plus dw, yes or no? So basic question, so like du is equal ncv dt and dq is equal ncp dt, based on that only it ask. Cv at constant volume given and is asking, so calculate the what you can call uh, the internal energy, change in internal energy, direct. So Cp given, Cp minus Cv is equal R, Cv is Cp minus R. So once you found Cv value, dV is equal to NCVT. That's it, students. Okay. So basic, just you see, just I'm not explaining entire thing. Slowly I will upload the entire paper analysis in upcoming sessions. Okay. Now currently I'm talking, so it may be useful for the students actually who are actually preparing for next exams. That's the purpose why I'm making this video. Yeah, and then light wave electromagnetic wave equation is given, okay, like it is a combination of 60 some sine omega t plus sine omega 2t some form is given. There you have to keep in mind, here he's saying, and this light is falling on a metal surface where electrons are ejected, photoelectric effect, Einstein's equation, maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons is incident energy minus work function, right? So kinetic energy will be maximum if frequency is maximum, yes or no? So frequency is maximum. So in this one you have to see in the equation, okay, so which frequency is more, okay. So one is given 3 pi into 10 power 7 into C frequency, and then is given 2 pi into 10 power 7 C. So 2 pi into 10 power 7 is larger frequency, omega is 2 pi by t, no, isn't it? So more omega means here more frequency, more frequencies, more is the kinetic energy, direct formula, okay. H mu is equal to work function plus kinetic energy. So that means you should, those students who are preparing for the next sessions, you can focus on Einstein's photoelectric equation, work function and all those things, okay. You can also remember over there what you can call a minimum wavelength, okay, or maximum wavelength, fine. So previous year questions, once you can go through it. And the next question is given, force function is given, students, like for in terms of time it is given, and is asking velocity and position of the particle after 2 seconds, something question is given. So directly acceleration is force by mass, you can write a is equal dv by dt, dv is equal a dt. Once you find the velocity is a function of time. So v is equal ds by dt or dr by dt? Yes or no? So from there you can find dr again integrating the velocity. Direct at t is equal to 2 seconds. So simple conceptual. So integrating acceleration will get velocity, integrating velocity will get displacement. Based on that question is given, students. And one more is dimension analysis. Dimension analysis is given. So here in dimension analysis, principle of homogeneity. Like previously we have seen this kind of question: p plus a by v square into v minus b is equal to nRT. Van der Waals equation. Now here Bernoulli's equation given: p plus rho gh plus half rho v square constant. No, in place of rho gh he has given at square by b he has given. So when you are adding in Bernoulli equation terms, all the terms will have the same dimension formula. No. So here p plus a t square by b is given. That means a by b into t square will have dimensions of the pressure. Just simplify the equation to get the answer. So like this. So dimension based question also one is asked in this exam. And then finding moment of inertia about a particular ice from rotation question asked, like we are having a T-shaped, okay, rod is there. So T-shaped rod is there. So like this we are having T-shaped rod here like this. Fine. It asks moment of inertia about this point, about this axis is asking. So you can find moment of inertia of this rod about this axis is how much? ml square by 3. And of this rod about this axis means passing through center of mass axis is ml square by 12. Okay. And this distance is md square. Apply parallax theorem and directly find the answer. Okay. This is one. And one more question, standard question, like a rod is suspended, okay, by means of the strings like this. Okay. When one string is cut, but tension in the other string is asked. So you can write one rotational equation and there is translational equation. Rotational equation, once you cut the other string, okay, standard question. When you cut the other string, no, so mg will provide the torque, yes or no? So mg into L by 2 becomes I alpha, one equation, and another equation is, so mg minus t is equal to m into a, and one more is what? A is equal to r alpha you can use. So you can solve the question. Fine. One question. And one more question is based in atomic structure, modern physics, like closest distance of approach. You have seen, all of you, alpha is scattering experiment, isn't it? So when alpha particles are bombarded towards the gold foil like this, so nucleus strong electric field is there, alpha particle is being repelled. Okay, so when it is coming over here, what happens is kinetic energy go on decreases at a particular instant, kinetic energy becomes what? Zero. So here entire kinetic energy of that particular alpha particle is converted into potential energy of this nucleus and alpha particle system. Are following? So kinetic energy, change in kinetic energy, work energy theorem, change in kinetic energy converts into potential energy, and find the value of D. See here 7 point how much given is 7.7 million electron volt. Kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge of alpha particle 2e, charge of gold nucleus is 79 into E divided by R. That R we have to find out. Just solve the equation. Okay. And then next question, yeah, this we have seen. And one question is based on logic gates. Every year you are seeing the standard questions on digital electronics. Okay, NAND gate is asked actually. You can practice those circuits. Okay, NAND gate, NOR gate, all such kind of models. And then alpha particle over, right? And one question based on insertion of dielectric in capacitor plates. You know, all of you, when you insert the dielectric completely between capacitor plates, capacity increases K times, right? K into C based on the question. And one more question is based on, as per I got from my students. And here two springs are in parallel combination. All of you know very well, when springs are in parallel combination, we add the spring constant, right? K equivalent is K1 plus K2. Errors are additive in nature. Like y is equal to a into b if we have, y is equal to a into b if we have, delta y by y is delta a by a plus delta b by b. So here plus is there. So simply what? We'll add the errors, no? So y is equal to k is equal to k1 plus k2. K1 value given a plus or minus delta a error. K2 is given b plus or minus delta b. So what is the error in equivalent spring constant is asked. So simply a plus delta a plus b plus delta b. So here becomes a plus b plus or minus delta a plus delta b. So keep in mind here errors are additive in nature. Okay, based on that question is asked. Okay, so overall I can say that questions are being asked from optics. Okay, 1 to 2 questions. Electrostatics is being touched over here, and then thermodynamics is being touched, and optical instruments were touched, and we can call electromagnetic waves one question with photoelectric effect. Okay, and laws of motion, force equation given, acceleration and all, and dimension analysis, principle of homogeneity is being asked. Okay, and then concept of moment of inertia, and finding the rotational motion equations, no, translational rotational mechanism, 2 questions were asked. And then atoms, 1 question based on closer distance of approach students, and focal length again optics it is. And then kinematics, 1 more question asked. What is that? One is same before I explained the force question. And digital electronics, 1 question is being asked. and current electricity, power dissipation. Okay, I square RT and all. You can also remember maximum power transfer theorem also you can remember, and then collisions of approach and all. Okay, so this is what paper one major topics which were actually covered today. Okay, and I will also show a small I can say light on the second paper also. Yeah, fine. Thank you all. Be in touch. All the best.